Good day, my name is Michael Cargill, the owner of Central Texas Gunworks. We do everything here, beginner firearm safety courses, license to carry handgun courses, and also private security courses. We also do gun sales online and inside the gun store. We also do transfers. We transfer guns in from all around the country. So come on back to Central Texas Gunworks and check us out on our website or also on our YouTube channel, Come and Talk It. Also, we are the place that beat the federal government in court. That is Michael Cargill against the United States government for the bump stock lawsuit that changed everything as far as the gun control argument for the entire country. So check us out online or on YouTube. That's Central Texas Gunworks or Come and Talk It. All right, so today what you guys are going to get a chance to do, we're going to talk about everything today. We're going to talk about a little bit of gun laws, what you can, what you cannot do, when you can use your firearm, when you can't use your firearm. We're going to talk about a little, self-defense stuff and some safety. All right, so for starters, I want to go over constitutional carry. Has anyone ever heard of the term constitutional carry? All right. When that pops in your head, what do you think of when someone says constitutional carry? What do you think of? Anybody?
The Constitution allows you to carry.
All right. So
That's what I would think of.
Let me kind of tell you what that means here in Texas. So constitutional carry, let's say, for example, you're 18 years of age. You're 18, and let's say you rent your apartment. Let's say you own your home. You live with your parents in the basement. That's where you lay your head for the night. As young as 18 years of age, you can openly carry or conceal carry a loaded handgun on your property. You don't need a license for that. Let's say you want to leave your property. You go about your day, go walk your dog in the neighborhood. You now have to be 21 years of age. Be 21, you can carry your handgun in the open. It could be concealed. It could be fully loaded. You have a round the chamber. Don't need a license for that. But if the handgun's in the open, it has to be in the holster. Any portion of the gun can be seen. It's got to be in the holster. 21 years of age. It could be fully loaded. You have a round the chamber. Don't need a license for that. Let's say you want to get in your vehicle. In your car, you could be 18 years of age. You can conceal carry a loaded handgun in your vehicle as young as 18. Concealed means you can't see about ordinary observation. So concealed, put a towel over it, cover it up, that's concealed. You can put it under the seat, glove box, center console. As long as when a police officer walks up to the vehicle, the police officer cannot see the handgun inside the vehicle because it's concealed. You can do that at 18 years of age. It could be fully loaded. You have a round the chamber, don't need a license for that. Let's say I pull the handgun out and put it on the front seat. Once the handgun's in the open in the vehicle, once it can't be seen, you now have to be 21 years of age. Got to be 21. And it has to be in a holster. Any portion of the gun can be seen. It's got to be in a holster, 21 years of age, be fully loaded. You have a round the chamber, don't need a license for that. Let's say I want to get outside my car to walk into a business. To step outside your vehicle to walk into a business, you have to be 21 years of age. Got to be 21. You can carry the handgun in the open. It could be concealed. It could be fully loaded. You have a round the chamber, don't need a license for that. But the handgun's in the open, it's got to be in a holster. Any portion of the gun can be seen. It's got to be in a holster, 21 years of age. It can be fully loaded. You can have a round the chamber. Don't need a license for that. And you can get outside your vehicle and walk into that business as long as that business does not have any signs that say no guns are allowed. If they have any signs at all that says no guns are allowed, you have to leave your gun in the vehicle. They don't have any signs that say no guns are allowed. You can take your handgun inside that business. You can have it in the open. It could be concealed. It could be fully loaded. You have a round the chamber. Don't need a license for that. But let's talk about signage. So in Texas, we have quite a few different types of signs. So for starters, we have this 30.05 sign. If the business has that sign posted, leave your gun in the vehicle, you cannot go past that sign. Or the business can post that second sign, or the third sign, or the fourth sign. Whatever sign they decide to post, leave your gun in the vehicle. You cannot go past these signs. These signs are only for people who are carrying a handgun in Texas without a license. If you ever decide to get your license to carry a handgun, these signs will not apply to you. Right now they do because you don't have a license. Everybody agree with that so far? All right. Back in 2021, a group of 18, 19, and 20-year-olds decided to sue the state of Texas. The state of Texas passed a law that if you're as young as 18 years of age, young as 18, and if you're in an emergency type situation, so let's say you have a protective order to protect yourself against someone, or you're in the military, at 18, you can get a license to carry a handgun and carry a handgun in the state of Texas with a license. But you had to be in that emergency type situation, and only if you're in the military. The rest of the 18, 19, and 20-year-olds have to wait to turn 21. So this group here, they sued. Guess what? They won. the state of Texas lost that case. As of January 2023, all 18, 19, and 20-year-olds can get a license to carry a handgun and carry a handgun in the state of Texas in the open or concealed with a license. All right, very good that so far. Let's go back to talking about constitutional carry. All right, so in order to carry a handgun in Texas without a license, you have to be at least 21 years of age. Got to be at least 21. You cannot in the last 5 years be convicted of any things at all. So in the last 5 years, you cannot be convicted of deadly conduct, terroristic threats, disorderly conduct discharging a firearm, disorderly conduct displaying a firearm in the last 5 years in order to carry a handgun in Texas without a license. You also have to be able to walk into the gun store and pass a background check. So you cannot be involved in any of these things at all. Let's go over these things here one at a time. A convicted felon will never ever be able to purchase a firearm from a gun store. But a convicted felon can have a gun at home for personal protection after 5 years. After 5 years, everything's been disposed. It's off of paper. They've been released from prison. They paid the debts to society. 5 years later, they can have a gun at home for personal protection. They cannot leave the house with it, cannot be in a vehicle with the firearm, cannot go to the gun range, go practice. They can only have it at home for personal protection after 5 years. So if a convicted felon can have a firearm at home for personal protection after 5 years, oh, by the way, they cannot purchase that firearm from a gun store or federal firearms licensed dealer. How in the heck are they supposed to get their hands on a firearm so they can have it at home for personal protection? As a private sale from a private individual or as a gift because they cannot pass a background check from a gun store. I just told you that all 18, 19, and 20-year-olds can get a license to carry a handgun and carry a handgun in the state of Texas as young as 18 with a license and carry in the open or concealed. But do you know that 18, 19, and 20-year-olds cannot purchase a handgun from a gun store or federal firearms licensed dealer? So if someone's 18, 19, or 20 years of age, and they get the license to carry a handgun and carry the handgun in the state of Texas and carry it in the open or concealed, how in the heck are they supposed to get their hands on the handgun? As a private sale from a private individual or as a gift because they cannot pass a background check getting from a gun store. Now, some people say, well, what about gun shows? Well, gun shows, the majority of people that sell guns at gun shows are dealers, and dealers have to do a background check. But gun shows just happen to be the place where people congregate to sell their own private guns, private stash. So you can get it from a private seller at a gun show, but if you're getting it from a dealer, they have to do a background check, or that's a felony. So that's how that works. Everybody good with that so far? All right, awesome. Also, a fugitive from justice. Let's say you got a speeding ticket, something as simple as that. And let's say that ticket, you missed your court date and went to a warrant status. And let's say you went on vacation and you left the state of Texas. Now, once you've left Texas on vacation and you have a warrant for your arrest, you now become a fugitive from justice. You cannot purchase a firearm from a gun store. You also cannot carry in the Texas constitutional carry law. If you're addicted to any controlled substances, you know that some states have legalized, decriminalized marijuana. Unfortunately, it goes against the federal law. If you have a medical marijuana card or a prescription for medical marijuana, you cannot purchase a firearm from a gun store. You also cannot carry in the Texas constitutional carry law. If you're a mental defective, you've been admitted to a facility against your will, you cannot purchase a firearm from a gun store. You also cannot carry in the Texas constitutional carry law. If you're from another country, but you're here legally, you can carry, you can purchase. If you're illegally or non-exempt, non-immigrant alien, you cannot carry, cannot purchase a firearm from a gun store or carry in the Texas constitutional carry law. If you are dishonorably discharged from the military, that would bar you for life from ever purchasing a firearm from a gun store or carry in the Texas constitutional carry law. If you renounce your U.S. citizenship, get a protective order. Let's say you get a protective order to protect yourself against a stalker. Get a protective order to protect yourself against a spouse. That stalker will not be able to purchase a firearm from a gun store or carry in the Texas constitutional carry law while the protective order is in force.
I'm Matthew Lodge with Christie's International Real Estate Lone Star. Welcome to Austin, a quick-paced, innovative city surrounded by stunning natural beauty. We understand that protecting what matters most includes not just your personal safety, but also the long-term stability that comes with smart property ownership. Just like they value your personal safety here at the Central Texas Gunworks, we at the Jones Property Group are here to safeguard your biggest investment, your home. We specialize in buying and selling homes, relocation services, and luxury real estate. We're your trusted partners in making a seamless move. What sets the Jones Property Group apart? We're part of the top luxury brokerage in the world, which gives you exclusive access to off-market listings that others simply can't match. We streamline the relocation process with trusted vendors, from inspectors to movers, ensuring your transition is done efficient and stress-free the first time. Imagine owning a home that not only appreciates over time, but also provides a safe and stable foundation for your family. We've helped countless professionals like you achieve their dreams, and we have a proven track record in relocation and real estate. Don't just pick any team. Choose the team that will deliver clear results with honesty and integrity. Are you ready to secure your place in Austin? Call 512-787-7217 to schedule a free consultation. We are happy to sit down with you and discuss your real estate needs. The Jones Property Group at Christie's International Real Estate Lone Star, where luxury isn't just a price point, it's a level of service.
And whatever you do, please do not beat your spouse. If you ever get convicted of domestic violence, that will bar you for life from ever purchasing a firearm from a gun store, even for a simple Class C misdemeanor domestic violence. That will bar you for life from purchasing a firearm from a gun store or carrying Texas constitutional carry law. So with all this in mind, guess what? It is best that you get your license to carry handgun when you come in contact with law enforcement. Any interaction at all that you have with the police, it's best you have a license, because with that license to carry handgun, you get stopped by law enforcement, you're pulled over on the side of the road, there's nothing for them to figure out if there's a gun involved in that traffic stop or that investigation, because you have a license to carry handgun, your background check's been done. But without that license, they got to figure that out on the side of the road. It's good to have that license with the interaction with police. It's good to have a license to carry handgun when you walk into the gun store to purchase a firearm. Do you know when you walk in the gun store to buy a gun, you got to fill out what we call a firearm transaction record. We call that a 4473. You're going to fill out that form. You're going to put all your information on that form. You're going to answer some questions. You know what the gun store is going to do? The gun store is going to call the FBI. What the FBI is going to do? FBI is going to tell that gun store either proceed, out you go with the gun, or delay, you have to wait 3 business days, or denied. Do you know if you're delayed or denied from purchasing a firearm from a gun store, you're reported to every law enforcement agency in the country you're ever delayed and denied from purchasing a firearm. That does not happen if you have a license. You have your license carry handgun, your background check's already been done. We don't contact the FBI. There's no contact the FBI. There's no giving them your information. There's no putting you in a system or anything like that if you have a license to carry handgun. Without that license to carry handgun, when you walk in the gun store, we are notifying the FBI that you're in the gun store, you're purchasing a firearm. We're giving them all your information, you're delayed or denied, you're reported, and put in the system where every law enforcement agency in the country is asked to if you're delayed or denied. That does not happen if you have a license. Good to have that license for that reason. It's good to have a license to carry handgun when you're traveling through different states. Look at the map here on the wall. So look at the blue states up there, look at the red states up there, and then because my eyes are bad, I'm gonna call those other states yellow. Okay, so let's talk about the blue and the yellow states. The blue and the yellow states recognize the Texas license to carry handgun. So you get your license to carry handgun from Texas, you can conceal carry your handgun in every single one of those blue and yellow states up on the map as long as you're a resident of Texas with a Texas license to carry handgun. Let's say, for example, you move from the state of Texas. All right, so we moved from Texas. We now live in, for an example, we live in Kentucky. Okay, so now we live in the state of Kentucky. We don't live in Texas anymore. But you kept your Texas license to carry handguns. Since you still had that Texas license, that license from Texas now is not recognized in the yellow states because you're not a resident of Texas. But if you are a resident of Texas, recognized in the blue and the yellow states. You can conceal carry your handgun in every single one of those blue and yellow states up on the map. And in the red states, we don't go. Yeah, we just don't go to those red states. Half the guns we have here in Texas, you cannot have in California. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Maryland, Massachusetts, they registered firearms there. We don't register guns here. Do you know, for example, let's say you inherited 20 guns from your great-grandfather. Congratulations, you inherited 20 guns from your great-grandfather. There is no such thing. It does not exist. You're taking those guns out of your great-grandfather's name and transfer ownership, registration, and put into your name. It does not exist in Texas. Enjoy those 20 guns you just inherited. Let's say someone was to give you a gun as a gift. Accept that gift. There's no such thing. It does not exist. You're taking those guns out of that person's name and transfer ownership registration, put into your name. Does not exist in Texas. Enjoy those guns you just inherited, okay, or you received as a gift. But I get people that walk to the gun store every single week. They say, hey, Mike, I want to take this gun out of my name and transfer ownership and registration and put into my son's name. Okay. $35, I take your money. It does not exist. Only thing we're doing is when you walk to the gun store, we're going to have you fill out that firearm transaction record to the person that's going to receive it, and we're going to call the FBI and do a background check on them to make sure they're not a prohibited person that we're transferring the firearm to. Has nothing to do with the registration of the gun. But hey, we'll make you happy. I'll take your money. It's good to have a license carry handgun when you go into the airport. Do you know the Austin Bergstrom Airport is the worst airport in the entire country where people forget and take their guns through security at the checkpoint. Did you know that? Austin Bergstrom Airport is the worst airport in the entire country where people forget this. There's an elected official in Texas that totally forgot and took his gun through security checkpoint. He said, oh my goodness, I'm an elected official. I work at the Texas Capitol. He said, I pass these laws. I write these laws. He said, I have a licensed carry handgun. I didn't mean to have my gun in the carry-on luggage and go through security. He said, we need to change the law. So you know what they did? They changed the law. Only in Texas. Only in Texas, if you forget, you take your gun through security checkpoint, you can say, oopsie, my bad. I have a license to carry a handgun. With your license, they will make other arrangements, make you have you fix it so you can catch that next flight. Without that license to carry a handgun, that is a felony to the 10 years in jail. Yeah, it's good to have that license. We make that oopsie at the airport. It's good to have a license to carry a handgun when you're going through, a school zone. When you're traveling through a school zone, an elementary school, middle school, high school, within 1,000 feet of school, that's a no weapon zone. You're not supposed to have any weapons at all within 1,000 feet of a school. Did you know that? Anyone drive through a school zone to get here today? And if you have a gun in your vehicle, if you did, you're actually violating the felony. All right, so here's how it works. All right, so if you have your license to carry a handgun, you're exempt of that federal law. All right, so you can be within 1,000 feet of school with a license to carry a handgun. Without that license, you're actually violating the felony. You're not supposed to be within 1,000 feet of a school with any weapons at all. That is a no weapon zone. That is an elementary school, middle school, or high school. Okay? And then it's good to have a license to carry a handgun when you're going to go out and drink. Do you know if you're going to go out and have a drink with your meal? Do you know if you have any alcohol in your system at all, any alcohol whatsoever, and you have a handgun? That is a Class A misdemeanor up to 1 year in jail. You're not supposed to have any alcohol in your system at all and have a handgun, unless you have a license. With a license, you can be below 0.08. You cannot be intoxicated, but you'd be below 0.08 with that handgun and the license. And then, do you know if you get stopped by police? Let's say we get stopped by law enforcement. You get stopped by law enforcement, there's a little road rage incident going on there, and they charge you with reckless driving. Not a Class C misdemeanor, but they charge you with a crime. If you get charged with a crime, and let's say you had your handgun in the trunk of your vehicle, not even, where you can get access to it, and the handgun had nothing to do with the traffic stop, but you got stopped by law enforcement, they charged you with a crime. If you get charged with a crime, you have a handgun in the vehicle, you're going to get charged with that crime and a Class A misdemeanor unlawfully carrying a weapon, unless you have a license. With that license, just the one charge, not the gun charge. Yeah, you're going to learn today. Any questions whatsoever? Ask away. Ask me something hard.
So with the transfer, you were saying you were saying the father comes in to transfer, wanting to transfer. So are you saying that if the kid who was over 18 got a license, the dad could just give the gun?
Yes. So the question is, can a parent, give their son or daughter a firearm? They're 18 years of age, and let's say they come into the gun store and take the class, get the license to carry handgun. Can the parents give them the handgun? Yes, absolutely.
Gift.
As a gift.
Okay.
So that can happen.
How long does a license to carry last? Is it like a driver's license? You got to renew it?
So the license to carry handgun, the license itself is good for 5 years, and at the end, before that 5 years, you go ahead and renew, and then boom, you're good for another 5 years, and you don't have to take a class anymore, just the one class. Yeah, but to initially get the license, though, you take a course. We do the classes here from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. every single Saturday, every other Thursday. We're going to run you through everything. I go in detail, use of force and deadly force, take it through some scenarios. We take a written test. We do the application. We do the fingerprints for the state so they can do the background check. We do all that stuff here. Then go out to the gun range. We go shoot and qualify at the range. You shoot 50 bullets. You can rent a gun from us or bring your own gun, but you're going to shoot 50 bullets. I'm going to stand there next to you and yell at you and scream at you, make you nervous, and get you ready. And then, boom, we'll turn in that paperwork to the state. When you turn your paperwork into the state, they'll issue a license in about 2 to 4 weeks. The fastest ID you can get in the country is a Texas gun license. A lot of people moving to Texas can't get a driver's license appointment at DPS. But you want to get an ID, you come take this license carry handgun course. We'll get your gun license in 2 weeks. You're going to learn today. Any questions?
Oh, I was just wondering if it's a different license, if you have a different kind of gun.
No. No, so the license carry handgun is just that one license, and is a license to carry a handgun. You don't need a license to carry a rifle or shotgun.
Yeah.
So it's actually legal in Texas for someone as young as 18 to purchase a rifle or shotgun from a gun store. You can, 18, but for a handgun, you have to be 21 to purchase that from a gun store. You can buy an AR-15 from a gun store at 18, but for a handgun, you have to be 21 years of age. That is federal law, all 50 states. And you've been able to openly carry or concealed carry a rifle or shotgun in Texas since 1869. Ever since 1869, if you wanted to walk down Congress Avenue, you want to openly carry a rifle, you could do that ever since 1869. It's been totally legal to have it any open or concealed. So when it comes to signage, so this first sign, which is the 30.05 sign, that sign there is going to be for handguns and long guns. So you can walk into most businesses carrying a rifle, okay? What happened was back in the 1800s, they started regulating handguns. They never regulated rifles or shotguns. They only regulated handguns because what happened was down in Galveston, Texas, where majority of people lived in the 1800s, but the laws were being made here in in Austin. So at the Capitol. So they said, okay, down in Galveston, everyone lives down in Galveston, so we're not going to regulate the rifles or shotguns, but we are going to start regulating handguns. They started coming down with strict handgun laws. Okay, that's kind of where it started. We never touched the rifles or shotguns. So you can go into most businesses, carrying a rifle, but handguns were always heavily regulated. In order for a business to say, hey, I don't want you to bring a rifle in here, they can either tell you verbally that you can't bring a rifle inside or post a 30.05 sign. The 30.05 sign says firearms on it. Since it says firearms, it stands for handguns and long guns. All the other signs, just handguns.
Welcome to IdentoGO. We provide a fingerprinting service for immigration, background checks, and more. You can book your appointment online using the service code from your employer, agency, or for personal use. Please have your valid, non-expired identification ready. This includes a Texas driver's license, passport, foreign passport, temporary state ID, green card, employment card, and your social security number. Our goal is to make your fingerprinting experience smooth, simple, and stress-free. We accept debit and credit cards, money orders, and personal checks. We do not accept cash. At IdentoGO, we pride ourselves on being fast, efficient, and reliable, so you can get in and out as quickly as possible. Till next time.
Hey everyone, just a quick update on everything we've got going on here at Central Texas Gunworks. If you're looking to get your license to carry, you found the right spot. We offer LTC classes every Saturday at 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. and every other Thursday at 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. as well. For those of you just getting started, we also host a beginner firearm safety course every other Sunday at 9 a.m. until noon. It's perfect for new shooters or anyone wanting a solid safety refresher. And if you've been previously arrested for a firearm charge, you found the right spot, as this course can also help you with the pre-trial diversion process, as it satisfies the requirement of the court. We also handle FFL transfers and different types of pricing depending on your needs. Just ask and we'll walk you through the process. Plus, we've got silencer shop kiosks where you can order suppressors, SBRs, and even machine guns legally and easily at our dispense. Yes, we accept crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, you name it. However you want to pay, we have it. Cash is king. Got questions? Give us a call or stop by. We are here to help you feel confident, safe, and informed. Have a blessed day.
Okay, that's one of the exceptions of being within 1,000 feet of a school is if you live within 1,000 feet of that school. Okay, and that's going to be for that school, not all the other schools. So it's good to have that license if you're going to be within 1,000 feet of any school. Okay, because let's say, for example, you're driving through a school zone, you have to use your firearm for self-defense. All right, you have to use your gun for self-defense. If you're within 1,000 feet of that school, you don't have a license, they're going to charge you with that, just for being in possession of the firearm. With a light carry handgun, it's all about was that shooting justified, not about being in possession of the firearm. Okay. Go.
If you get pulled over by police officers, do you have to tell them you have a gun?
All right, the question is, what do you do when you're pulled over by law enforcement and you have your firearm with you? So here's what I do. Okay, so I get stopped by law enforcement, and I have a heavy foot, so I get stopped. So I get stopped. I put my hands 10 and 2 on the steering wheel. My hands are in plain sight. I make sure I have my driver's license in my hand. I also have a light carry handgun, so I have that light carry handgun in my hands on top of that, ready to go. I turn on my inside light. I roll my window down. My hands in plain sight. Officer walks up to the vehicle, asks me for my identification, and the officer, my driver's license with my light carry handgun on top, put my hands back on the steering wheel. Also asked me any guns or weapons inside the vehicle. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, I do. I got 2 on my left. I'm sitting on top of 2. Got 3 on the right. Got 5 underneath the seat. I got 4 in the back seat. I got 12 in the trunk. This is Texas. Everyone's got guns. You have many guns in your vehicle as you want to. There's no magic number of too many guns inside the vehicle. Now, an officer can separate you from those firearms. Don't ever think an officer cannot get you out of the vehicle. If they suspect weapons are inside the vehicle, they know weapons are inside the vehicle, they can remove you from the vehicle. They can get you out of the vehicle, have you step to the rear of the vehicle. They can do a pat down on you to make sure you don't have any weapons on you while they're conducting that traffic stop. It's all about them making sure, hey, you don't have access to weapons while they're conducting an investigation, which is a traffic stop. That makes sense, right? So that's how I conduct myself. Let's say you don't have a license, but you have your firearm inside your vehicle. Now, you don't have to be forthcoming with that information. Since you don't have a license, you don't have to be forthcoming with that information that there's a gun in the vehicle. All right, but you also cannot lie to law enforcement. So if they ask you any weapons inside the vehicle, you can't lie to them. They can lie to you, but you can't lie to law enforcement. That's a Supreme Court case. Okay, so that's how I handle that. Any questions? Ask me something hard. Let's talk about use of force and deadly force. When it comes to use of force and deadly force, I said force and deadly force. Force is pushing someone. Force is displaying your firearm. For example, stop. Displaying your firearm, that's force. You pushing someone, you hit someone using force. Deadly force, you shoot them, you stab them, that is deadly force. You can use force or deadly force to stop someone if they're committing aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, aggravated robbery. If they're attempting to enter or move you from your home, your vehicle, or your place of business. All right, so I said aggravated kidnapping. The reason I said aggravated kidnapping, not simple kidnapping, is because the Texas legislature, when they were debating this, they said, okay, hold on. We don't want parents to wind up in the parking lot somewhere over the weekend, end up in a shootout because one parent claims the child's been taken from the other parent, by the other parent unlawfully. They kidnapped them. We don't want shootouts to happen. So let's let the court settle that. Let's call law enforcement. You can't use force, deadly force for simple kidnapping. But aggravated kidnapping, you can. Aggravated kidnapping, they're holding them for ransom, use them as a shield. They're trying to kill them. Production of a weapon is aggravated kidnapping. You can use force, deadly force to stop aggravated kidnapping, but not simple kidnapping. After that, I said murder. I didn't say pushing you. I did not say hitting you. I did not say punching you. I did not say slapping you. I did not say this person's in my personal space. I didn't say I feel threatened. What I said is murder. Before you pull a gun out, you have to ask yourself, is what's happening in front of me? Is it aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, aggravated robbery? Are they attempting to enter or move you from your home, your vehicle, or your place of business? If it's not one of those, don't ever pull a gun out. Let's talk about the castle doctrine. Okay, in Texas, we have what they call a castle doctrine. There are 3 places you should feel safe. You should feel safe inside your home, inside your vehicle, and also inside your place of business. If someone unlawfully enters or remove you while you're inside your home, your vehicle, or your place of business, you can use force or deadly force to stop them, because those 3 places you should feel safe. Let's say, for example, we're going through downtown Austin. I'm traveling through downtown Austin on the interstate, going on I-35 there. And as I'm going through downtown Austin on I-35, there's a protest. And the protesters are blocking the interstate. We come to a stop. We can't run over protesters. You can't hit pedestrians. You have to stop. Okay, we come to a stop, and all of a sudden they surround our vehicle. There's nothing to do about that. Stay inside the vehicle. They're pounding on the vehicle. There's nothing to do about that. Stay inside the vehicle. They're causing damage to the vehicle. There's nothing to do about that. Stay inside the vehicle. The castle doctrine, that law does not care about the damage that's being caused to your vehicle. The law cares about you and your safety. That damage to your vehicle is a civil matter. That's what your insurance is for. If you can figure out who they are, sue them. Okay, but that's what insurance is for. Stay in the vehicle. The law protects you if you stay in your vehicle. All of a sudden, this person right here breaks my window. They're entering my vehicle. They're trying to remove me from my vehicle. They're trying to kill me while in my vehicle. Now I can use force or deadly force to stop this person here. This person that's standing in front of my car, keeping me from driving off, I cannot run that person over. I can only stop the person that's entering my vehicle, trying to remove me from my vehicle, or trying to kill me while in my vehicle. That's how that works. Let's talk about robbery, aggravated robbery, and theft. Let's go back to that. Because people always get confused about what's robbery, what's aggravated robbery, and what is theft. I always read social media posts and people use these terms wrong. So when it comes to robbery, let's say someone walks into the gun store here, and they walk up to the cash register and they say, give me the money out of the cash register, demand it with force, or give me your wallet, demand it with force. That's robbery. You can use force or deadly force to stop robbery, daytime or nighttime, it doesn't matter when it's happening. Aggravated robbery. Someone walks to the gun store and they pull out a gun, says, get money out of the cash register. They walk up to you, give me your purse, give me your wallet with a gun, or they cause injury to you while they're taking it from you. That's aggravated robbery. You can use force or deadly force to stop aggravated robbery, daytime or nighttime, doesn't matter when it's happening. Theft. Someone walks to the gun store, they take something off the shelf and slip in their pocket, that is theft. Someone pickpockets you, that is theft. Someone takes your Amazon package from your front porch, that is theft. Someone fills up groceries in a grocery cart, walk out the front door of the grocery store with it, that is theft. You can only use deadly force to stop theft when it's happening at night, not while theft is happening during the daytime. Nighttime is 30 minutes before sunrise, 30 minutes after sunset is nighttime. Different in January than it is in June. You can only use deadly force to stop theft at night, not during the daytime. And put a dollar amount on that piece of property. Is it really worth it for you to shoot someone over that piece of property? Is it really worth it for you to shoot someone over that Amazon package that they picked up at 12 midnight? Because that package, when that bullet goes out of that gun, you know how much that bullet's gonna cost you? $20,000. That's a $20,000 bullet. Why is that 20 grand, Michael? Because you're gonna be fingerprinted, gonna be booked, gonna spend 90 jail, gonna bail yourself out of jail. It's gonna cost you 20 grand just to prove in front of a grand jury why you're justified in discharging that firearm or shooting that person. So is that package, is that piece of paper, that property, that box of toilet paper, whatever it is it worth 20 grand to you? Ask yourself that, because that's how much it's gonna cost you to defend yourself. Any questions? Ask me something hard.
Bienvenidos a IdentoGO. Ofrecemos servicio de toma de huellas, dactilares para trámites de inmigración, antecedentes penales y más. Puede programar su cita en línea usando el código de servicio de su empleador, agencia o para uso personal. Por favor, tenga a la mano una identificación vigente. Aceptamos la licencia de conducir de Texas, pasaporte, identificación estatal temporal, tarjeta de residencia, permiso de trabajo y su número de seguro social. Nuestro objetivo es que su experiencia sea fluida, sencilla y sin estrés. Aceptamos tarjeta de débito y crédito, giros postales y cheques personales. No aceptamos efectivo. En IdentoGO nos enorgullece ser rápidos, eficientes y confiables para que pueda realizar su trámite lo antes posible. Hasta próxima.
The protester in front of the car that's not allowing you to move is not pulling you out of the car, but they are brandishing a weapon. Does that change?
So the question is, what if someone's outside your vehicle and they have a firearm, for example, a protester or whatever like that? If a gun is in a holster, that is legal. If they're holding a rifle, that's legal. Are they pointing at you, pointing the rifle at you, is the gun out of the holster? That's another problem.
What does that fall under then?
Now you have to ask yourself, do you think this person's trying to kill you? You have to answer that question. If they are, then you use force, deadly force to stop them. I'll see you in court.
Yeah, and then defend yourself for the.
I'll see you in court.
What if you're the owner of the shop
When
that's being robbed or?
When it comes to a business, you can be the owner of the business, you can be the employee of the business, you can be a customer inside the business. Someone walks in, they're robbing the place, whether it's robbery, aggravated robbery, the owner, employee, a customer can use force, deadly force to stop them. They have to decide, me as a customer, I'm gonna decide, do I really want to jump into this, into this situation? This is not my money. Is it really worth it for me to jump in that situation? As an employee, it's not my money. I'm still gonna get paid, whatever an hour. As an owner, this is gonna cut into my bottom line. Do I want to pull my firearm to stop this person? Those three people are gonna have to decide whether or not they're gonna, want to jump in or not. Because under the law, they can. They can use force, deadly force to stop that person from committing robbery or aggravated robbery, daytime or nighttime.
Yeah, not theft unless it's at night.
Correct. Theft is only at night.
Why is it only at night?
The reason theft is only at night, our laws go all the way back to like the 1800s. So back in the 1800s, it's really 1700s, when it came to theft, what was theft? Think about 1700s. What was theft? What was property that people were concerned about? Slaves. So when slave owners wanted to retrieve their property, nighttime, they would usually go and try to get that property back at night. Nighttime's a little more dangerous. You use deadly force at night. And our laws never changed. Still in the books. You're going to learn today. I told you. Ask me all those hard questions. Do you know that in Texas, you're not allowed to fire warning shots? You cannot fire a warning shot. Let's say your house is surrounded by a 20-foot wall. 20-foot wall, and let's say you totally separate yourself from the outside world. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. Someone climbs that wall. They're in your front yard, your backyard. You cannot fire a warning shot. Here's the worst thing that you can do. The worst thing you can do is walk outside on your back porch with a shotgun, pump that shotgun, and say, "Get off my property." You cannot point the gun at them. You cannot threaten to shoot them. You can only display the firearm. You cannot point the gun at them, cannot threaten to shoot them, only display the firearm. That's as far as you can go. And then in the same breath, that person can say, "No." Now what you gonna do? They just called your bluff. Check. Checkmate. Now what are you gonna do? You can push them off the property. You can drag them off the property. You can't use force. You can't use deadly force. Cannot use deadly force. Okay. When it comes to warning shots, so no warning shots. When it comes to, let's see. Go ahead.
Talk about intruders fleeing.
Okay. So let's say someone walks into the gun store here. It's like 10:30 in the morning. Someone comes in, grabs something, and runs out the door with it. That's theft. I can't shoot them. I can chase after them. I can try to fight them for the property back. I can't shoot them for it. Unless they're trying to kill me, it's got to be something else, okay? Let's say someone breaks in. They break in, or let's say it's kind of weird. The law's kind of weird, right? So let's say someone comes up to me and points a gun at me and says, or points a gun at you and says, "Hey, give me your wallet." You give them the wallet, they turn around, they run away. You can use deadly force to stop them to get that wallet back. You can shoot them in the back to get that wallet back. So law's kind of weird.
And you can do that because they showed deadly force at you by pointing the...
Maybe a robbery, aggravated robbery. Yeah. Law's kind of weird. When you come take the license carry handgun course, I'll break this stuff down for you in detail. In detail. Right now, I'm just giving you a little taste.
So within, in the question of what you can do when somebody comes onto your property, the distinction is between your property and the structure of your home, right?
That is correct.
Once they're in your home, the rules are different.
Correct. So the question is, what happens if someone's, versus inside the house versus outside the house? So on the property, you can use force if they're on the property. You can get them off the property. You can, fight them for your stuff. You can use force, not deadly force. Someone enters your home while you're inside, that becomes the castle doctrine. Someone forces their way inside your home, that becomes burglary. Any portion of a person's body sticks to a door, window of a building, a shed, a vehicle, that's going to be burglary of that, that item. Okay, whether it's a building, shed, or whatever, that's a burglary. When it comes to you protecting property, here's the things that you can use for deadly force to protect property. If someone's committing arson, burglary, robbery, aggravated robbery, theft in the nighttime, or criminal mischief at night, you can use deadly force to stop them. I said arson, so burning something down on your property is arson. You can use deadly force to stop arson, daytime or nighttime. After that, I said burglary. Any portion or part of a person's body sticks to a door, a window, they're trying to pick the lock, that becomes burglary. Whether that's a building, whether that's a shed, whether that's a vehicle, you can use deadly force to stop that daytime or nighttime if it's burglary. So arson, burglary, then I said robbery. We talked about robbery, right? Someone taking something from you with force. Aggravated robbery, production of a weapon and causing injury to you. And theft. You can only use deadly force to stop theft at night, not theft during the daytime. Theft is someone appropriating your property with the intent to deprive you of it. You only use use deadly force to stop theft at night, not during the daytime. And then after that, criminal mischief. Criminal mischief, someone creeping around the property causing a certain amount of damage to their property. Not too long ago, we had someone, damage the entrance to the gun store just last weekend. And so that was criminal mischief. It was $1,800 worth of criminal mischief, so that was a misdemeanor. It was a Class A misdemeanor, so now this guy's he's locked up in jail now. He's eventually gonna go to prison. Got him on camera, damaging the entrance of the gun store. So that's how that stuff works. Ask me something hard.
So if you are like loading a gun to it, like on your property as like a show of force, like if you're pumping the shotgun or whatever, is that technically deadly force because you've now like done something with the gun other than just show it?
As long as you're displaying the firearm, like for example, on your property, you can display that firearm. You cannot point the gun at that person. If you're pointing at the person, that's going to be almost as if that's the deadly, deadly force. So pointing at them or threatening to shoot them, you cannot do that. Okay, you don't display the firearm. You cannot point the gun. Only time you can point the gun at them or threaten to shoot them if you're justified in pulling the trigger. You're not justified in pulling the trigger unless they're trying to, do those things that we talked about, right? Okay.
So shooting a firearm into the air on the 4th of July and celebration, what kind of?
That is a crime. Just the mere fact you're discharging a firearm on the city limits, period, you're committing a crime. Even for self-defense. Now we got to prove where you're justified. You're not allowed to fire warning shots at all. That's you're committing a crime by firing warning shots, period. You're not allowed to fire warning shots. You could be charged with a crime for firing warning shots. Trespassers, you cannot shoot trespassers on your property. Once again, it's 3 a.m. in the morning. My house is surrounded by a 20-foot wall. Someone climbs that wall. Just for the mere fact of being on my property, I can't shoot them for that. Not unless they're breaking into my house, breaking into my car, trying to kill me. They have to be doing something else in order for me to use deadly force. You cannot shoot trespassers. You will be charged with a crime. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. in the morning, someone's trying to force their way in your front door. The door's coming off the hinges. You want this person to run away. You just want to fire a shot, just to get them to run away because you don't want to shoot anyone. No, you'll be charged with a crime. Either shoot them or don't.
But only, sorry, go ahead.
What if they say they're going to shoot you? Like the door is rattling, you can't see them, and they say, I'm going to shoot you.
And a verbal threat is not enough by itself for you to use deadly force, so it needs to be a little more. So if they're coming through the door, I'm going to kill you. Now I got to stop you. Okay?
You answered it.
Oh.
What if you're a bad shot? Is that also, like if you miss the person, but you were trying, it wasn't a warning shot, you just aren't good at it?
And the question is, what if you're a bad shot? That's why I encourage you to come to Central Texas Gun Works. So we can get you in our firearm safety course and our license to carry handgun course and teach you how to shoot. Because on our targets, we have the head, we have the full body, and there are no arms, no legs on that target. Michael, why are there no arms and legs on the target? Because we train you to shoot the middle portion of the target. We don't train you to shoot the arms and legs. That's why we don't put arms and legs on the target. And plus, discharging that firearm, once a bullet goes out, a bullet hits a person, that's all deadly force. Doesn't matter where the bullet is. I don't care if it's in the finger. A person can die from that. Doesn't matter where the shot placement of the bullet. That's still going to be deadly force. So thank you for visiting Central Texas Gun Works. We're your one-stop shop for everything. Fingerprints, gun sales, classes. So definitely come on back and check us out. Go to our website, centraltexasgunworks.com, or our YouTube channel at Come and Talk It. As always, more guns equals less crime. Go out there and buy yourself a gun.
The next time you find yourself scrolling YouTube, make your way over to Come and Talk It with Michael Cargill. We feature long-form interviews, hands-on firearm training, and conversations with some big names you'll recognize. And with new shorts every week, there's always something new to watch. Remember, more guns equals less crime. Go out there and buy yourself a gun, and subscribe to our channel.
Are you afraid of guns or terrified of them? That's okay. That's probably because you don't know anything about them or gun safety. So let's go slow. Start with the basics. Safety.
We've got 4 basic safety rules that you need to follow at all times whenever you're around guns. First rule, keep your booger hook off the bang switch until you're ready to fire. Second rule, always keep your gun aimed at your target. Never aim at anything you're not willing to kill or destroy. Third rule, know what your target is and what's on the other side of it as well, because bullets go right through things and they keep going. Fourth rule, treat every gun like it's loaded, even if you just checked and you saw that it's unloaded. You never break those first 3 rules just because you have an unloaded gun. Take your magazine in your left hand, unholster your pistol with your right, aim at your target, insert your magazine into the handle of the gun, pull back on your slide and release. Take your 2-handed grip, aim at your target. When I say fire, I want you to fire 2 shots. Fire!
All right. All right, so what we're gonna do is a couple of things there. I'm gonna have you bend a little bit. There you go. Lean forward. Cool. Go ahead and present the firearm. Awesome. Feel a little better? There you go. And then don't slap the trigger. Just go ahead and squeeze the trigger. Make sure in between shots you're looking at your sight, but you're in between shots.
Unholster your firearm, aim at your target. Take your 2-handed grip. When I say fire, I want you to fire 1 shot. Fire. 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 All right, so we just had a malfunction. There's the 3-step process to fix a malfunction. Tap the magazine in. Make sure it's seated properly. Rack your slide. Take your 2-handed grip and go bang. Fire. Fire.
All right, so how about a little friendly competition here? All right, so we're gonna fire some shots. I'm gonna fire this brand new SIG here that I just received as a gift. And so we'll see how it does. Ready? Fire. All right, so let's take a look at our targets here. All right, Zach's target. Zach did outstanding. Look at that, great shot group. I think Zach did the best there. Wonderful. And then my target, I sucked, definitely. I did the worst. Good shot group. And then Lindsay, outstanding. Look at that, beautiful.
Remember, as always,
more guns equals less crime.
So go out there and buy yourself a gun.
I'm Matthew Lodge with Christie's International Real Estate Lone Star. Welcome to Austin, a quick-paced, innovative city surrounded by stunning natural beauty. We understand that protecting what matters most includes not just your personal safety, but also the long-term stability that comes with smart property ownership. Just like they value your personal safety here at the Central Texas Gunworks, we at the Jones Property Group are here to safeguard your biggest investment, your home. We specialize in buying and selling homes, relocation services, and luxury real estate. We're your trusted partners in making a seamless move. What sets the Jones Property Group apart? We're part of the top luxury brokerage in the world, which gives you exclusive access to off-market listings that others simply can't match. We streamline the relocation process with trusted vendors, from inspectors to movers, ensuring your transition is done efficient and stress-free the first time. Imagine owning a home that not only appreciates over time, but also provides a safe and stable foundation for your family. We've helped countless professionals like you achieve their dreams, and we have a proven track record in relocation and real estate. Don't just pick any team. Choose the team that will deliver clear results with honesty and integrity. Are you ready to secure your place in Austin? Call 512-787 7217 to schedule a free consultation. We are happy to sit down with you and discuss your real estate needs. The Jones Property Group at Christie's International Real Estate Lone Star, where luxury isn't just a price point, it's a level of service.
Welcome to IdentoGO. We provide a fingerprinting service for immigration, background checks, and more. You can book your appointment online using the service code from your employer, agency, or for personal use. Please have your valid, non-expired identification ready. This includes a Texas driver's license, passport, foreign passport, temporary state ID, green card, employment card, and your social security number. Our goal is to make your fingerprinting experience smooth, simple, and stress-free. We accept debit and credit cards, money orders, and personal checks. We do not accept cash. At IdentoGO, we pride ourselves on being fast, efficient, and reliable, so you can get in and out as quickly as possible. Till next time.
Hey everyone, just a quick update on everything we've got going on here at Central Texas Gun Works. If you're looking to get your license to carry, you found the right spot. We offer LTC classes every Saturday at 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. and every other Thursday at 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. as well. For those of you just getting started, we also host a beginner firearm safety course every other Sunday at 9 a.m. until noon. It's perfect for new shooters or anyone wanting a solid safety refresher. And if you've been previously arrested for a firearm charge, you found the right spot, as this course can also help you with the pre-trial diversion process, as it satisfies the requirement of the court. We also handle FFL transfers and different types of pricing depending on your needs. Just ask and we'll walk you through the process. Plus, we've got silencer shop kiosks where you can order suppressors, SBRs, and even machine guns legally and easily at our dispense. Yes, we accept crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, you name it. However you want to pay, we have it. Cash is king. Got questions? Give us a call or stop by. We are here to help you feel confident, safe, and informed. Have a blessed day.
We're from Texas, y'all. Of course we have 2 licenses. One to drive.
One to carry handgun.
We're from Texas, y'all. Of course we can open carry or conceal carry a handgun on a city bus.
We're from Texas, y'all. Of course you can open carry or conceal carry a handgun at Texas State Capitol.
Texas, y'all. Of course we can conceal carry or carry in the library, but it's gotta be suppressed.
We're from Texas, y'all. Of course we can open carry or conceal carry a handgun in a vegan restaurant.
We're not going in there.
Yeah.
Let's get some barbecue.
We're from Texas, y'all. Of course we can open carry or conceal carry a handgun in a restaurant.
You remember what the sign says? Don't mess with Texas. And don't forget what I say. More guns equals less crime. Go ahead and buy yourself a gun.
Bienvenidos a IdentoGO. Ofrecemos servicio de toma de huellas, dactilares para trámites de inmigración, antecedentes penales y más. Puede programar su cita en línea usando el código de servicio de su empleador, agencia o para uso personal. Por favor, tenga a la mano una identificación vigente. Aceptamos la licencia de conducir de Texas, pasaporte, identificación estatal temporal, tarjeta de residencia, permiso de trabajo y su número de seguro social. Nuestro objetivo es que su experiencia sea fluida, sencilla y sin estrés. Aceptamos tarjeta de débito y crédito, giros postales y cheques personales. No aceptamos efectivo. En IdentoGO nos enorgullece ser rápidos, eficientes y confiables para que puedas realizar su trámite lo antes posible. Hasta próxima.
And I said, I don't care what you do. You can call them and you tell them there's a black guy on the bus with a gun. This bus is not moving.
I know your gun store was robbed. What happened?
Harrison, let me tell you. This guy walks in, two guys actually walk into the gun store. They steal a firearm. You know, the one guy, he takes a gun. He actually runs out the store with it. You know how you show someone the firearm or whatever? He, takes a gun out, runs out the door with it, goes around the side of the building. My guys are on point, So one of my employees actually called 911. My other employees jumped into a vehicle. I go out the back door. This guy go along the side of the buildings. We're actually looking at the camera, so we're watching him and seeing what he's doing. And I go out when I go out the back, he actually runs, there's a city bus station next to us.
Right.
So he goes over to the bus station. He actually runs and jumps on the city bus. I run over, I stop the bus, I stand in front of the city bus, and I tell the bus driver, call your security. This bus is not moving. There's a guy stole a gun. He's in the back of the bus. We're not going anywhere. So then I tell the bus driver to open the door. I jump on the bus. I say, close the door, lock the door, don't let anyone off. I said, we're not going anywhere. So we're calling the police. We called them like 4 times. Nothing happened. I ended up having to call ATF. I said, hey, we got this guy, stole a gun. He's on the bus. I'm holding the bus. The bus is not moving. Right. And we need, police here. We've called them like 4 times. I said, okay, we got it. So they call APD, the Austin Police Department. And so they're on their way. Agents from the ATF are on their way. And I tell, the people in the bus, I turn around to them. I said, hey, we're not going anywhere. The guys on the bus were like, hey, you can't hold us without, against our will. I turned sideways because I'm open carry my 1911 with a cross on it. I said, right. No one's getting off this bus. And so then as soon as I said that, everyone on the bus grabbed their cell phone. They're dialing 911. I said, I don't care what you do. You can call them and you tell them there's a black guy on the bus with a gun. This bus is not moving. And so they're going off on their phones, calling everyone. And this guy's in the back of the bus. This guy is in the back of the bus. He's pacing. So he's pacing back and forth. He lights up a cigarette.
On the bus, okay.
On the bus, he smokes his cigarette. He's looking at me and I'm looking at him. I said, you do whatever you're gonna do, but I tell you what, you're not getting off this bus. As a matter of fact, we will die on this bus before I let you off this bus with that gun. So figure out what you're gonna do, because it will end right here. So finally, the APD shows up, the ATF shows up, and they handcuff this guy. They get on the bus, they handcuff him and his buddy, and then, they're searching him. They say, we don't have anything, there's no gun. I said, trust me, there's a gun. He has it in a backpack and it's on this bus. So they're searching, they can't find it. They're searching, they're looking, they can't find it. I tell my employees, I said, hey, text me the security camera footage of this guy with the backpack.
Right.
So they send me the backpack. I show the officers the backpack. They say, okay. So they continue to look. They're looking, can't find it. They continue to look. And then finally, they found the backpack in the back of the bus under the seat, in the back there with the gun inside. And boom, we caught him. As always, more guns equals less crime. Go out there and buy yourself a gun.